infinite balance, giving you that energy, 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 energy from the cosmos to your center's flows. There's a lot of people talking about manifestation, how to bring that up. Why isn't manifestation, why isn't manifest? Either way, why isn't it that working for me? Easy for me to say. Way back in 2017, going back in for 2016, I wanted to get a Honda Civic. But not just a Honda Civic, just any type of vehicle. So I focused on myself on getting it. I would think about it while I'm eating breakfast. I would think about it while I'm working out. I would think about it on my everyday activities. I would think about it while I'm watching TV. When back then I would watch TV. Wrestling, CW, that sort of thing. So, when going and thinking about it and doing all those type of things right there, nothing happened. I thought to myself, darn it, this isn't going right for me. What am I doing wrong? Why am I in the position that I'm in? Why am I broke? Why am I a loser? And that right there is why things didn't manifest. One of them is what I just told you, which I'll get back to that. And another is, every time I was thinking about the Honda Civic, any type of Honda Civic, I didn't have a personal belief. I wasn't focused on it. Even though I said I wanted to have it, I didn't believe I will have it. And later on down the line, from what I just told you a minute ago, what brought the vibration and frequency down more is me putting myself down. Why am I an idiot? How come this never happens to me? Why was I born on this planet? So at that moment, when I was thinking about that, it was a couple days later, still going on looking for that Honda Civic to get. And then I changed my whole mindset. Not only was I started to think about the Honda Civic, I started to do research on the Honda Civic. Started to look online for the Honda Civics. Up here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, they have something called Kijiji. Started looking on there. They have something called Auto Trader. Started looking on there. They had something called Craigslist. Started looking on there. Just looking at different pictures, seeing whatever type of Civic I could afford to get. And keeping that focus. I wasn't into meditation back then. but my mind was focused. And I started being uplifted about myself. I never talked about, oh, I'm very super positive or I'm very this, but I had that demeanor. Like that vehicle was already there. And during this focus, I finally seen something that was around my budget. And this person was a motivated seller. Ended up giving me the vehicle for $1,400 at that time, which was very affordable to me. So going back to manifestation, and why isn't people not manifesting what they want? Is first thing is belief. They're not believing they can have what they want. People say a lot of things. I watched a video from Vishan from Mind Valley, and he said something that really stuck with me. When you're doing affirmations, you're saying, I am abundance. I am wealthy. For the majority of the people at the back of their head, their mind is telling them, well, how come I'm living in a one-bedroom apartment? How come I'm living in a room in the basement? How come I'm living in my vehicle when I want to live in a house? So when you don't have that belief, nothing will come your way. Whatever you have will not come to you. For manifestation for you to happen, one thing is the belief. Another thing is doing the work. Like when I told you, I started doing the work in looking at how I could get this. Looking online. Looking through papers back then, magazines, and looking for a particular vehicle that I wanted that suits me fine. That's when everything started to turn my way. That's when things started floating towards me. That's when the vision of what I had in my head started coming to life. There's a saying, conscious thought times action equals manifestation. You know, think about it, you put it in the work, and from the work, you get what you want. Also, when going through those steps of manifestation, going through the progress, retooling your mind, as when I was talking about earlier before. When I went through my process of getting what I want, I was thinking of it already being there. But one thing to train your mind with, for the people when they always have it in the back of their head, why am I getting this? If I'm rich, how come I don't have that? Instead of saying, I am abundance, saying something, why is it that abundance always seems to follow me wherever I go? See, a question right there. You're putting the question out. So in the brain set, it puts in the mind that, why is it that? And then the mind goes to work on figuring out why this is. When you put that, what I call question motivation, even for so-called weak-minded. It starts turning. The mind starts turning. And it goes into, again, working, into figuring out why it is that you are this or you are that. Manifestation is like exercise. You're not going to go to the gym and come out looking bulky and heavy in one day, in 1 hour. It takes work. But when you have the right tools into going into what you want to do, everything comes out bliss, everything comes out crisp for you into your own easy for me to say, proposition on what you're looking for. So if you want to go through your own type of manifestation, have the belief. Conscious thoughts, the action, and through all that, it will equal manifestation. Next video, you're going to see how this is going to get more amped up into how you could become a higher version of yourself. But what I would like to know is, in the comments, one word of what you felt watching this video. I answer all the comments, especially at this early stage where the community is nice and close. So also remember that your thoughts shape your reality.